Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you are eyeing a prestigious Sainik School education for your kid for the 2026 to 2027 academic year, you probably already know it all starts with the All India Sainik Schools Entrance Examination, or AISEE. But man, that official information bulletin, it's a dense 80-page wall of text. It can be super overwhelming. So today, we're going to translate that heavy manual into a clear, strategic roadmap for you. We'll skip the fluff and focus purely on getting your recruit completely ready for the mission.
Okay, so let's quickly hit our agenda for this briefing. We've got 6 key checkpoints: the overall mission, picking your school, who's actually eligible, cracking those reservation quotas, breaking down the entrance exam, and finally, a step-by-step application guide. Let's just dive right in.
Section 1. The AISEE 2026 mission.
First up, it's absolutely crucial to know who's actually running the show here, because there are two entirely distinct authorities at play. Think of the National Testing Agency, or NTA, as the umpires. Their only job is to conduct the exam, process the OMR sheets, and declare the results. But then, you've got the Sainik School Society under the Ministry of Defense. Once the NTA hands over that merit list, the SSS takes the reins for the actual e-counseling, medical fitness checks, and final school admissions. So, you test with the NTA, but you ultimately enroll with the SSS. Make sense?
Section 2. Choosing your Sainik school.
The landscape has actually changed recently. You've got the traditional legacy 33 Sainik schools that admit for both Class 6 and Class 9. But a whole new network of approved new Sainik schools was recently greenlit in partnership with NGOs, private schools, and state governments. For 2026, we're looking at 69 of these new schools opening up for Class 6 and 19 progressing to Class 9. And the absolute best part of this whole system, whether you want the traditional 33 or the newer approved schools, it's just one single common exam.
But here's a massive gotcha you need to be aware of when it comes to those new schools. They use 2 totally distinct admission routes. The 40% route, which is Category A, is open to literally anyone across India who passes the exam. Awesome, right? But the 60% route, Category B, is exclusively reserved for students who are already enrolled and studying in that specific approved new Sainik school. So, if your kid isn't already attending one of those specific partner schools, you are only fighting for a piece of that 40% pie. It's a really important detail to keep in mind.
Section 3. Who is actually eligible?
Let's talk eligibility, because the authorities do not budge on these dates. For Class 6, your candidate has to be between 10 and 12 years old as of March 31st, 2026. That strictly means born between April 1, 2014 and March 31st, 2016, both days inclusive. For Class 9, the bracket is 13 to 15 years old, meaning a birth date between April 1, 2011 and March 31st, 2013. And here's a fantastic update. Girls are now actively recruited for both Class 6 and Class 9 wherever there are vacancies.
Section 4. Understanding the reservation quotas. If you're gunning for the 33 existing schools, your home address is practically a superpower. The primary split is geographic. A whopping 67% of all seats in a school are fiercely protected for students domiciled in that exact same state or union territory. Only 33% are left for everyone applying from outside the home state. So yeah, that domicile certificate is one of your most powerful assets. And it actually gets a bit more granular. Within those geographic blocks, the seats are sliced up again. 15% for scheduled castes, 7.5% for scheduled tribes, and 27% for OBC non-creamy layer. Plus, a quarter of the remaining balance is locked in for the wards of serving defense personnel and ex-servicemen. When you crunch all those numbers, the general category is basically competing for about 37.9% of the total pie. It is a very tight, highly structured distribution.
Section 5. The entrance exam breakdown.
All right, let's look at the battlefield itself. The format is a classic paper and pencil multiple choice exam using OMR sheets. But listen to this. This is a huge tactical advantage. There is absolutely zero negative marking. None. So whatever you do, please drill this into your kid's head. Do not leave a single bubble blank. Guess if you have to, but attempt every single question.
For the Class 6 exam, candidates get 150 minutes to tackle 125 questions across language, math, intelligence, and general knowledge. But just look at how mathematics completely dominates the score here. While other subjects give you 2 marks per question, math gives you 3. It carries a whopping 150 of the 300 total marks.
Literally, half the battle is won or lost right there in the math section.
And we see the exact same story for Class 9. They have 180 minutes for 150 questions. Once again, math is the absolute heavy hitter, carrying 4 marks per question compared to 2 for intelligence, English, science, and social science. It's exactly 200 out of the 400 total marks. The takeaway here is pretty obvious for sure. Prioritize your math prep above all else.
Actually, wait, let me clarify that. You can't only study math. There's a catch. To even make the merit list, general, OBC, and defense candidates must score a minimum of 25% in every single subject alongside a 40% overall aggregate. So if your kid gets a perfect score in math but pulls a 24% in language, they are completely disqualified. The only exception here is for SC and ST candidates. They're admitted based on intersane merit within their categories.
Section 6, the step-by-step application guide. Let's get your deployment orders sorted, because time is incredibly tight. Applications open October 10th, 2025, and close sharply on October 30th. And heads up, that deadline is 5 p.m. Not midnight, 5 p.m. on the dot. Do not leave this to the last day. The exam itself will roll around in January 2026. The non-refundable application fee is 850 rupees for general, OBC non-creamy layer, and defense categories. For SC and ST candidates, it drops slightly to 700 rupees.
Now, the NTA requires you to follow 3 strict sequential steps to apply online. Step 1 is generating your profile with a unique email and mobile number. Step 2 is filling the form and uploading documents. Step 3 is the fee payment. And please listen carefully here. Your application means absolutely nothing if you don't get that final confirmation page after Step 3. Even if the money leaves your bank account, if you don't see that confirmation page, you aren't taking the exam, period. To save yourself a massive headache, get these exact digital files ready on your computer right now before you even click Register. You need a passport photo, the candidate's signature, and a left-hand thumb impression, all as perfectly sized JPGs. You'll also need PDF scans of the date of birth certificate, domicile certificate, and any applicable caste or service certs. Honestly, just make a folder on your desktop today and have it all ready to go.
So you've got the map, you know the terrain, and that October 30th deadline is approaching fast. The only question left is, are your documents digitized? Is your strategy locked in? And most importantly, is your recruit ready to step up and claim their future? The window is small, but you've totally got this. Thanks so much for tuning into this explainer, and best of luck out there on the battlefield of ICCE 2026.